Now, recent reports of bribery has had an impact on us as citizens, and we need to know our rights. And this morning I have Councillor J.P. Smith, who's the Safety and Security City Member of the Cape Town's Mayoral Committee, to shed some light on the matter. Good morning, Councillor. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Karen.
Now, myself or us as citizens, we need to know our rights. So what are our rights when approached by a police officer or a traffic official offering us a bribe?
I think most importantly, start by saying no and say it very clearly. Don't prevaricate, don't be ambiguous about it, say no very clearly. Make it absolutely clear you have no intention of engaging in any form of corruption. For all you know, it's a sting, and you don't know which of the persons that you're attempting to bribe is in fact part of a police operation. So just for your own interest, you won't get the kind of police force that you trust and that you need if we don't ourselves take a stand on this. The particular type of corruption, traffic enforcement, which is so prevalent, especially these days in Johannesburg, wouldn't be able to take place if the public didn't make them complicit in it. And that said, the government has a role to clean up that corruption. We can't rely on the public alone, but you as the public, if you're approached, make sure you say no, immediately go to the police station, lay a criminal charge, and if that is a Metro Police member in Johannesburg or Cape Town, immediately report the member to the relevant City Council, and I'll give details at the end of the show for Cape Town so that people can easily report members.
Right. You have mentioned that one must just go ahead and report, if you yourself as a citizen are approached by a police officer or traffic official. But for example, myself, I'm in the situation now, I'm driving in my car and actually, ran a red light or whatever the case may be, and I'm standing in front of the traffic official. It's quite a daunting experience to be faced with someone with such authority, and you're sitting there in a predicament and this person is saying, you know what, hey, just, organize me a couple of bucks and it's fine. How exactly do I sort of do the switch off and go into that mode and say, oh no, not happening, when this person is trying to intimidate me?
Well, you understand that in this case you wear the moral authority. He's doing something wrong and something evil. You know that. You know that it is wrong. You know that not only is it wrong, but it's criminal. So I think it's necessary to immediately identify the name badge. Officers should be wearing a name badge. But invariably the kind of officers involved in these activities do not. Take a step back and look around him and make sure you can identify the vehicle registration number, because he or she would be driving a vehicle. Make sure you identify vehicle registration number. And even if not that, explain to the officer that you intend to lay a charge, because we can invariably track those vehicles and even their hand radios. So if we know the exact time and date, we can see what officer was in that area, even if they managed to conceal the license plate. So it's always possible, if the authority is determined and serious about corruption, as Cape Town is, to stomp it out and to prosecute those officials. We can and will track the officials involved.
Right. Now, speaking about charges, what exactly are the penalties involved for traffic officials? You mentioned now we can lay a charge, etc. But what are also the penalties for us as citizens?
Well, it's a criminal conviction. It's a criminal conviction, and it's obviously up to the court to decide how much time or fine you get, and that will depend on exactly what you did. But for the staff member, firstly, it's dismissal. We have had since December last year, to the best of my knowledge, about 9 cases reported to us since December. And in those cases, we have, with 6 of them have been dismissed, 2 have been suspended. So we're quite determined to take action, because they're the face of our city. We really don't want that face besmirched by officials taking shortcuts and doing unlawful things. And we've been pretty consistent in this kind of discipline, so that if you look at the 2 big media surveys that were done year on year now for the last 2 years, Cape Town has shown only a fraction of the kind of corruption that you've seen elsewhere. Out of 2,800 reports by the public of corruption, Cape Town had 7. A large, well-known other metro in this country had almost 2,000. So we will dismiss that staff member internally, terminate his career with the city, and also press criminal charges ourselves when we become aware of it. You can also, of course, complain to the Hawks or IPID, the Independent Police Investigations Directorate. If it SAPs, they will also alert us to any transgression by a staff member, and we will then take action against them.
Okay, great. So basically that's the route that you can take if you'd like to report any situation like that, is to report it to the Hawks and the Independent Electoral Committee as well.
Independent Police Investigations
Units. My apologies. Councillor, thank you so much for joining us and shedding some light on the matter. I think that some people out there definitely know their rights and know what they need to do when they find themselves in the situation. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Well, from all of that, it's time to get those buns burning. I believe Leanne is going to be doing that with the Cape Fight League. This is going to be interesting. Take a look.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.